going? It is Fangs, and welcome to a video on my second channel. I'm going to be doing today kind of explaining. I've had a few people ask me, and I've brought it about in a couple of my videos recently, onto why I am no longer eating meat when it comes to red meat in terms of like cows, and then whenever it comes to pork, because I also took pork out of my diet. And so some people have been wondering, like, why is Fangs not eating red meat anymore? Because I used to be like where I ate everything, and even though some things, like I'll explain it a little bit in this video, to the reasons why I'm not. There's three like main reasons why I'm not, but I used to eat anything, like pretty much anything you put in front of me I'd eat. And even when I went to, like, say Dubai, because I went to Dubai back in, when was it, like a couple months ago, and they didn't have pork. They had where they would eat like chicken sausage and chicken bacon and all this kind of stuff. I was like, oh my god, how could I never live without pork? Whenever I got home, I like ate all this bacon and stuff. But I decided to make a change probably about, I guess, 3 weeks ago. I don't know what it was. It was like something just hit me out of nowhere, and it was like, you know what? I don't think that I should eat red meat anymore. And I guess I added pork to it on top of that, because I guess pork is like on the very of being red meat. I think for like nutritional reasons it is in the red meat side, but whenever it comes to like a definition of it, it's not. I don't know. Pork's on the edge, so if you guys know on that one, let me know. But I put that into my red meat category, and so what it started as is reason number one being I wanted to try something. So I didn't make like a New Year's resolution or anything like that, and I was like, you know what? I've never tried anything. I had a friend named Brittany who decided to become a vegetarian, and she tried it for a year, and now she's just a full-on vegetarian. And in a way of doing like a healthy lifestyle and trying to get back into, like, I've gained a little bit of weight in the last year. Not that it's bad, I needed to gain weight, but the way that I wanted to gain weight, I wanted to do it a lot more cleanly. So in the terms of having a healthy lifestyle and then just trying to test myself and see what I can do, I decided that I wanted to try to go a whole year without eating red meat. So that means I can't eat any steaks, I can't eat any cheeseburgers, freaking cheeseburgers. I can't have, I added pork to it, so I can't have bacon, I can't have ham, I can't have roast beef. There's just so many different things that come with it. Like one of my favorite sandwiches is actually called the French dip. As I say all this, my meat arrives. I'm just kidding, it's not. It's egg, cheese, and what is it? Egg, cheese, and potato tacos. But anyway, so when it comes to that, I just wanted to try for a year in my life. I wanted to be able to do something and see if I could go all the way through. Now, I screwed up in the first 2 days that I started it. That's because I got really drunk and I had a tamale. And that tamale had pork in it, so that totally messed up my program. But I started again. It's been 2 weeks now since that happened. A second reason for being why I do this is because I actually don't digest red meat very well in the first place. Like, there's something with my stomach when it comes to when I eat cheeseburgers or if I have a steak or anything like that, where it just makes me feel really sick afterwards, and it totally screws up my digestive process. It never works out for me, and I still eat it because it tastes so good, but whenever it comes to, what is my cat doing right now? She's just being crazy. Whenever it comes to like me eating it, there's something about it in my stomach where if I have chicken, it's not that big of a deal, but if I have a cheeseburger or something like that, it's like I'm screwed up for a couple of days. But I've learned to get used to it. Now that I've been away from it for like 2 weeks, I actually feel 10 times better. And I don't know if it's a mental thing, I don't know what it is, but there's something about it that my body just feels clean. And I've only been eating, I wanted to do like complete on all meats because I wanted to cut out chickens and everything like that as well, turkey, but I decided to stick to where I can do chicken and turkey. I guess you could call me, what would I make a word for it? A chickatarian. A chickatarian right here, you can call me that. So I decided to stay and stick with those because I mean, that was gonna be a little bit too hard. You gotta do one thing at a time, okay? I gotta cut out one at a time, although I did do 2 for the first one. But when I eat chicken, I feel fine. I feel clear, I feel clean, my stomach isn't upset. But if I eat a cheeseburger, like, my stomach will go crazy, and you'll hear it, it's trying to digest it, and it's like, and you know, it's not good. It's like whenever I have dairy, I'm lactose intolerant. It's just bad. I'm not gonna get into details. So that was more so the second reason. Now, the third reason why I decided to stop eating meat would obviously be a little bit to do with like a sentimental reason, I guess is what they call it. I don't really enjoy the fact that how they produce meat. Like, they do it in a very terrible way. I used to live out in Lubbock, Texas. I went to college at Texas Tech, and it was where one of the biggest slaughterhouses, I guess that's what they call them. I don't know if they call them that anymore. It was one of the biggest areas where they process meat in Texas was. And so whenever they did it, you'd like know, because all the cows would be out and they'd be like out running around, you know, you'd see like a group of them out at the place, and then you'd notice like the next week they were gone, and a stench would go through the entire town that was like nothing you had ever smelt before. It was the most horrific smell, and it was like it caught a wave. Because in Lubbock, it's very flat. It's almost like a desert. So it was like it caught a wave and just whoo, and it hit you in the face. And it was one of the smelliest things. The only thing that I can imagine that smelled worse than that cow slaughter area would be, my mom lives in Oklahoma, in Miami. If you're from there, holla holla. And she lives right next to a mushroom plant. And so, I mean, I don't think even, it smells worse in one area in Miami, but I think through the whole town, if the mushrooms get too crunk or something, it starts to smell really, really bad in there. And so that's probably the worst thing that I've smelled besides that is the mushroom plant, because there's like fungus and all that stuff. But yeah, it just smelled like, I don't even know, what can I describe it as? Like just dry blood and dead carcass. It's just disgusting. And the way that they have to like group all those cows together and get them ready to be able to process the beef, they have to pretty much tear up the environment. I'm not like a huge hippie, guys, okay? Maybe I'll become a huge hippie, but they have to tear up the environment. It ends up causing like mass amounts of waste, and especially like in pig slaughter farms and stuff like that. I don't know, I feel like I'm not wording this. I feel like this is like some 1800s wording. They used to call them slaughterhouses. You guys have to tell me what they call them now. But the pig ones, like the way that they process waste and the way they do everything, it's just kind of disgusting if you think about it. And you don't even know like how they're doing it, how they've cut it. You don't know anything. And I know this is the same way it is with every food, but whenever I think about it, it disgusts me. And then when I think of the process of how they do it and how like horrific it is in the process of how they kill the animals, I know we're on a food chain, but it's just sad. It's sad in general how they murder these poor animals. I'm such a freaking PETA person right now. And I know my dad owns a petting zoo, or he did, he doesn't do it anymore, but he used to own a petting zoo. And we used to always have PETA show up because we had petting zoo and he had a pony ride. And so the pony ride, kids could ride ponies, and we had a weight limit. They could only be like 60 pounds. Ponies can handle a 60-pound kid. Horses handle people all the time. And then the animals, we took care of them. They were fat, they were happy, but they had to get pet by a kid. And so PETA would always freak out and give us all this stuff. And they had misters. Like, it's hot outside, but they had misters. They had all the food they wanted. They were living the life. So I used to always be like, ugh, PETA. But when it comes to certain animals and certain things, like the way that people hunt things, I don't think that people should hunt lions. I don't think people should hunt tigers. I don't think people should hunt an animal whatsoever unless they're gonna actually eat that animal. They're gonna process it or get it processed for them, and then they're gonna eat that animal. It really pisses me off whenever people hunt things or they shoot things that are not that case. So when it comes to the fact of cows, like, I know it's a food chain. I know that like the cow is there and it gives us the milk, and I really enjoy the milk, although I'm sure that's another process. Like, when I put this all together, it comes into my mind of like, what am I even gonna eat? I'm gonna have to start eating like I'm gonna have to grow my own tomatoes in my backyard. I'm gonna have to grow something. The biggest problem for me on top of that is getting protein, because I want to work out. So when I think of protein, obviously I can do like peanut butter, I can do things like that, I can do whey protein, but it's just hard, and it's like really weird. I've always thought about it, and I've always thought I don't want to eat a cheeseburger because like I hate the whole idea and the process of it. I really hate how they do it more than anything. I hate how they do it. I don't know if there'd ever be a humane way to do it, like we just like inject them with a shot. If you inject them with a shot, it'd probably be bad for us though. And we'll probably end up getting some kind of crazy mad cow disease or something. But it just, to me, personally, I don't like it. Same thing with chickens. Like, I am crazy about the fact that whenever I get my eggs, I want them to be like cage free and all this kind of stuff. Like, I want it to be a chicken that was able to live its life, and he's out there and he's on the freaking prairie or in the farm and he's just running around all happy. Well, it's a she. Sorry. She's just running around all happy, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna lay an egg, and boop, boop, the egg comes out, and then they like tap on it and they're like, this one is not viable, it's not gonna have life. And so they pick that egg out and they put it in the carton and then they feed it to me. That's what I'm thinking. Now when it comes to the chickens and creating stuff for like KFC, I think it's a whole different, it's probably another just as terrible process. So that'll probably be another one I end up giving up at some point. But for me, there's a ton of reasons why I don't want to. You guys can be totally for it, you can be totally against it, you can think my ideas are stupid, but in my mind, this is how I feel. And so yeah, I've been 2 weeks without eating red meat, without eating pork. I barely eat chicken. I try to stay away from that as well, or turkey, but if I have to, and like I feel like I need it for the energy and stuff, then I'll eat those. But yeah, that is kind of my life in a nutshell right now. And I had a couple people ask me about it, because on, what was it, Father's Day? They had burgers, and I had this like wonderful looking turkey burger. I don't even know how they process turkeys. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so that's what's going on, and that's kind of my reasoning behind it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm sure I'm gonna get something like, "You're a freaking granola," or something like that, but it's okay. I totally understand. Guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you want to hear more stuff about what I do with my life and why I do it, I got a ton of crazy stuff. I've said it on my channel before, like, I'm ADHD, I'm dyslexic, I'm tone deaf, like I have all these different problems that I could easily explain to you guys. I might share them with you guys. Let me know that in the comments down below, and until next time, see you guys later.